CP, does Islam really teach Tawhid, the worship of one God, or are there other gods, or did not
First of
learn
all,
some of God?
Tawheed, first of all, Tawheed is not worship in oneness. Tawheed in Arabic mean to unify. So how it is one but it unify? So is it one about one as number or one about unity? The word Tawheed is a wrong word to use to prove the point. And this is proving to us how silly Islam is. They don't speak Arabic, they don't know Arabic, and then yet they use the word Tawheed, which is against what Muslims claim. Because when you say Tawheed, ask anyone. You can type it right now in Google. Tawheed, it means unification. Tawheed does not mean oneness. It means unification. Like, you know, Tawheed al-Duwal al-Arabiyya, I just said, unification of the Arabian states. As simple as that. Perfect sentence. So the word Tawheed is wrong. Secondly, as long Allah is one. And by the way, who cares if Allah is 1 or 10? If there is an Indian guy, he have 1,000 God, but they are true God, still he is a true.
Yeah.
The number doesn't mean any different. I mean, this is stupid. Like if somebody says I have 10 cars and he have 10 cars, well, they are 10. Hello. So if there's 10 gods, there's 10 gods. If there's one, there's one. That will not change anything. Secondly, if Allah is one, how he say in the Quran in chapter 21 verse number 17, if we desire to take a partner as a wife, lahwan, women, we will take it from ourselves. If Allah is one, how he will marry from himself? I challenge any Muslim to solve the problem, because he is one. You see, the Muslim, when we say to them Allah, he say we, they say this is a majestic statement, like king, we say we. Okay, but here is talking about taking a partner which is a woman. So in chapter 21 verse number 17 it says, had we desire to take to us a partner, and Arabic it says lahwan, which means a female woman, we will take it from ourselves. Okay, how Allah can take partner with ourselves if he is the only unique person who have a kind of himself? You know what I mean, David and Sam?
Yes, sir, I understand. That means there has to be more than one for Allah to take a partner from them.
Yeah, can we marry God to a woman, normal woman? Can we marry God to a donkey? Can we marry God? I mean, when he says ourself, he himself, he used the word ourself. So as long ourself, it's been from us. And to say from us, okay, that's mean, okay, we are the same kind.
Yeah. So everyone understood what he just said. These guys blaspheming. Okay. Everyone understood what he just said. When he says that we can take a partner from ourselves, that means ourselves must be a true plural. There has to be more than one. And Allah then can choose from one among those that are with him to be his girlfriend, his lover. So that again refutes Tawhid. What about CP in chapter 112 of the Quran, Surah Al-Ikhlas, where it says Allah Ahad? Can you explain the real meaning of when it says Kul Allahu Ahad? Explain the real meaning of there, because the Muslims have deceived us into thinking that the word Ahad there means one. What does it really mean in Arabic?
The word Ahad mean one of does not mean one. The word one in Arabic is wahid. So when we say wahid, it's mean one. When we say Ahad, we mean one of. And this is appear in more than 29 places in the Quran at least, or 30. And it says all of them, you can check anywhere where it says Ahad. And last time actually we spoke about it, that the Quran keeps saying like we don't differentiate with our prophet between any of them, and the word any of is Ahad. As an example, if you read Sam, you can read the chapter 3 verse number 73.
Okay, let me get it for you, CP. Let me get it. Listen, let me get it, folks. 1 second. Here goes the Quran browser, chapter 3 verse 73. We're gonna get it. So guys, listen to what he's saying, because he knows the Arabic, it's his mother tongue. Don't let Muslims deceive you. Ahad in chapter 112 verse 1 doesn't mean one, it means one of. So Allah's one of what? Now let me read 373 for CP. I'm going to read Pikthal, even though you can correct his mistranslation. It's 373. And believe not save in one who followeth your religion. Say, O Muhammad, lo, the guidance is Allah's guidance, that anyone is given the like of that which was given unto you, or that they may argue with you in the presence of their Lord. Say, O Muhammad, lo, the bounty is in Allah's hand. He bestoweth it on whom he will. Allah is all-embracing, all-knowing. So is that the part where it says anyone?
Anyone, exactly.
So that's Ahad, right?
So, and see here, see the hypocrisy. How Ahad in that verse only in the whole Quran suddenly became one, when the whole Quran translate the word Ahad as anyone or one of. You see the hypocrisy? How the word suddenly changed. Ahad always mean one of. You know, one of many, one of two, one of three, one of four, doesn't matter. He is one of others. So when Allah he says Allah is Ahad, well, that's a problem, and that's a mistake. Unless he is saying Allah is Ahad, the God who was around the Kaaba. There was one of the idols who was around the Kaaba, whose name is Ahad. So it might be that Allah, or the verse saying, say that Allah is the same as Ahad. It's just another name for Ahad.
Now,
you know, when the Muslims, by the way, when the Muslims they say Allah, Muhammad, he came for Tawhid, right?
yes.
Okay, the Kaaba have 360 idols. So do we unify them all? We made them all Allah. Is that what it's mean? This was mean. By the way, David, there's somebody posting bad.
Yeah,
bad,
we got him. Blasphemous wine. We know.
Yeah.
He has no shame. But CP, to add to this point, guys, pay attention. Chapter 112 says Allah is one of. That's first mistake, proving Quran doesn't teach Tawhid. Secondly, CP, isn't it true in chapter 9, verse 31, it says that Allah wants people to take Him and Messiah as lords and no one else?
Yeah, this is actually but when you read the translation, it comes differently.
Yes.
They say to take Allah yeah. So in Arabic it says, you know, they are taking their monks and their rabbis as God instead of Allah and the Messiah. But the Muslims in their translation, they put it as they wish and they change it. So they make it no. They took their monks and their rabbis and Jesus as God instead of Allah, when the fact this is a fabrication.
So you're saying the Arabic clearly, because you know the Arabic, the English we don't know, we're English speakers, poor us. You're saying chapter 9 verse 31 says that the Jews and Christians, their mistake was that they took the rabbis and monks as lords besides Allah and the Messiah, meaning that Allah and the Messiah should be their one Lord. That's what the Arabic says?
Yes, exactly. This is what the Quran is saying. I will read it in Arabic, and I changed the Muslim to say online. اتخذوا أحبارهم ورهبانهم أربابا من دون الله والمسيح ابن مريم وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا إلها واحدا لا إله إلا هو سبحانه وتعالى. Here you notice, by the way, it says it clearly, instead of the Messiah and Allah, and then it says the word wahidan. You see the word one? That is one, wahid, not ahad. That is the correct one. That's the correct word for the word one, wahid, in that verse, not ahad. But here, by the way, Sam, as long we are talking about this, you know, the Muslim, they say that the Torah is corrupt, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then they try to witness to us from the Torah that Muhammad is there, right?
Yep.
But isn't it that's funny? And then the Quran in chapter 5 verse 44, it says that Allah trusted the Jews to protect the Torah. So look at this madness. The Muslims, they say Muhammad is the same as Moses, but then the book of Moses is gone. So how we can find he's the same as Moses from the corrupt book? Look how silly. Secondly, then they say to us that we worship one God, and then they say we worship one God, but we kiss black stone and we believe in things that have nothing to do with Moses. And then they add to that Allah, he trusted the Jews to protect the Torah. Chapter 5 verse 44 says that Allah entrusted the Jews. Sam, your English is better than mine for sure, and David, what did trust mean when we say entrust?
That means that he gave it to their care and protection to preserve it.
Yeah, but the trust, it's mean like you are good, right?
Yeah,
I know you're
trusting you with this because you're reliable. Yeah, like, hey man, I trust you with my money, I trust you with my car.
Did Allah make a wrong decision, wrong trust? Because when you trust somebody, you know. I mean, this is God, right?
Yeah.
So if I am God and I trust you, that's mean I know what you will do later. So when Allah, he trusted the Jews to protect the Torah, do he knew that they are not trustworthy, or he don't know?
Well, CP will be surprised. Shabir Ali now believes that Allah, the future may be open to Allah. He's embracing open theism. Allah may not know the future. So Shabir Ali may say, yeah, he probably didn't know.
Will he have to come to this conclusion? Because obviously Allah, he do not know the past, neither the future. Isn't it the Quran says, okay, Sam, for sure you can teach us better in this case. As-Samiri, he met Moses in the Quran.
What? Samaritan, huh?
Samaritan, yeah. In Arabic we say As-Samiri. Okay.
Chapter 20 of the Quran. Yeah, the Samaritans did not exist
So how this happened?
Yeah, exactly.
You know. So which Musas they are talking about? Obviously, even the Musas in the Quran is not our Musas. I mean, how he can be exist in the time of the Samaritan, and this is not this is stupid. So here we notice that the Quran is a book of madness, and it's mixed up. He do not know. Mary is the sister of Aaron, and her father, his name is Umran, and Moses, his father name is Umran,
Yep.
and Aaron, his father name is Umran.
Yep.
So now here we go. We have a family. We have Umran, we have Moses, we have Maryam, and we have their grandson. His name is Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. But let me just repeat what you said for everyone so they can get it. Guys, understand what CP is showing you. The Moses of the Quran, his father's name is Imran. That's even in the Hadith. And remember, according to the Quran, Moses' brother is Aaron. And yet in the Quran, the mother of Jesus is the sister of Aaron. That's chapter 19, verse 28. The daughter of Imran, chapter 66, verse 12, says she's the daughter of Imran. And in the Quran, it says that Mary's mother is the wife of Imran, chapter 3, verses 35, 36. The only Moses whose father's name was Imran, who has a brother named Aaron, and Aaron's sister named Mary, is actually depicted as being the mother of Christ, making Moses the uncle of Christ. Because in Numbers 26:59, it says, Amram, his wife Jochebed, gave birth to Miriam, Aaron, and Moses. And yet this Miriam, Aaron, and Moses happened to be the family of Jesus, because Jesus' mother Mary is the sister of Aaron and her daddy's Imran. So Moses is Jesus' uncle. That's beautiful, CP. I mean, and then on top of that, CP, Musa also must have met Eliasin. Can you explain why in the world Elijah is called Eliasin? I didn't know that names can be plural. I know Elias, but then Eliasin? What's going on here, CP? Can you explain the logic of the Quran?
Well, you know, first there is names in the Quran. We do not know where they are coming from. Yeah. But if you go to chapter Yasin, Yasin is not Elijah. Yasin, Ya is a word meaning God. Sin is the moon god. Yasin, Muhammad, he copied the name. He do not know what it's mean. If you go to the Quran and you ask the Muslims, okay, what is Yasin mean? You will see, as an example, in many tafsir says Allah knows best. All right, Allah knows best. And then everyone he start to guess what did the word mean. But the fact, you can go right now and search. You will find that Ya is an old word for God, and Sin is the name of the moon god. Muhammad, he was saying Yasin, not anything. And then the Muslims, they start compromising words and try to make it Elijah when they want. So, I mean, Isa, like as an example, where is Isa? Who is Isa?
Yeah, who is he?
Okay,
who is he?
Who is Amran? Even who is Israel? You know, in the other day, there's a guy was making fun of the word Israel. He says not the word. He was saying Israel. He was struggling with God. He was wrestling with God, right? So I said to him, but so why your God Allah he adopted the word Israel? He said what? He said, so if you are making fun of the story, how come Allah he called him Israel? He said, what does that mean? I said, this is what the word mean. Exactly. So by adopting the name, you adopt the story, because this is what the word Israel mean. Exactly. So they make fun of the story, but the fact the Quran confirmed the story by saying the word Israel. So the Muslim, they have tons of words in their Quran, because their Quran is a counterfeit of other belief. Christianity, Judaism, Sabian, you name it. So like as an example, the Quran says that the father of Abraham is Azar. Who is Azar?
Yeah, who is he? Tell me, CP. You're confused me. I thought it was Terah. What happened?
Azar is a word mean foolish. And Abraham, he was saying to his father, foolish. Are you going? This is foolish. Are you going to worship idols? That makes sense. And here you see how much disconnected the one who recite the Quran, Muhammad, and the one who wrote the Quran, Waraqa. Muhammad is reciting what Waraqa he said, but he do not know what Waraqa mean. This is why the Quran says there's many verses in the Quran nobody knows what they mean save Allah, because Waraqa did not explain that to Muhammad.
So I just want to make sure people got what you said. Guys, notice Abraham's father in the Quran, his name is Azar. The Bible says Terah. In the Quran, Jesus' mother Mary is the sister of Aaron. Her father is Imran. The only Mary, Maryam, who had a brother named Aaron, whose father's name was Imran, is the sister of Moses. Eliasin, we have no idea who the heck that is, even though it's supposed to be Elias, even though his name is not Eliasin. But CP, since we're on Tawhid, I just want one more verse because you're the Arabic expert and you can confirm this. Not only do you have in chapter 9, verse 31, where it says, Allah doesn't want Jews and Christians to take rabbis and monks as lords besides Allah and Jesus, the Messiah. So the only Lord Allah wants them to take is Him and Messiah. But is it not true? And you may need to look at the Arabic and you'll confirm this. Chapter 3 of the Quran, CP, verse 18. I'm going to read what the Arabic says. You can confirm. It says, Allah Himself bears witness, there is no God but Him and the angels and the men of learning. Isn't it true that in the Arabic, Allah is saying, there is no God but me and the angels and the men of learning? In other words, the Arabic, whoever wrote this or recited it, made a boo-boo by saying that Allah bears witness that He, the angels, and the men of witness are Allah. Can you confirm that, please?
Let us fix something here. Allah here, He didn't say, I witness that I am. Allah, He said, suppose the verse. It says, I will translate exactly word by word.
Please.
Allah witnessed that there is no God except He. And here there's a mistake. Because if Allah is talking, how Allah He witnessed that there's no God but He should say, Allah said that there's no God but I. Or He say, I am God, worship me. And then He says, and the angels and the one with the knowledge, all of them, they are doing, like, let us say, like the just, or let us say, practicing the knowledge of Allah, all right, and which is assigned to Allah. So here we find that the angels and people of knowledge and Allah, all of them, they share one thing, and that is impossible.
Wow.
So the structure of the sentence is very funny. And then, by the way, here Allah, He witnessed to who?
He's witnessing to Muhammad. Allah is Muhammad's servant. What's wrong with you, CP Abdul?
No, Allah, when I witness to other. Allah, He witnessed to who?
Exactly.
To us. He witnessed to us that there is no God but Him. I mean, that's not smart, because I witness to God, but God witness to who?
Good question.
You know, like, it's about authority. You know, because when I witness in the front of a judge. Somebody is higher than me, and I witness. I make a statement which is, I believe, is true. All right. Now Allah is witnessing in the front of who? Nobody saw Allah witnessing. Nobody heard Allah witnessing. Allah spoke to nobody, not to Muhammad. Even Jibreel, according to Muslims, Jibreel, he was collecting the information from the tablet. He did not speak to Allah. So Allah witnessed to who?
That's a good question. Inquiring minds want to know. I would have to say to you, Allahu Alam.
Yo, let me go ahead and add this comment, since it's along the same lines. But I noticed another comment from Chandler Burks. He said reason 3. Chandler, I must have missed reason. Right here we have Chandler's third reason, which is basically what we just saw from Abu Bakr Ghazali. He said Muhammad preached the absolute unity of God, unlike the Trinity, which is explained differently in all 3 major faith traditions, Catholic, Protestant, and Eastern Orthodox. So Muhammad has a consistent, complete unity in his theology, unlike Christians. So that makes it true. That makes Muhammad a true prophet.
Real quickly for Chandler.
Whoa, one second. I just have to point out here, right? I just have to point out, because Muslims rarely think about the implications of their arguments, right? So notice right here, because Sam, he just gave me everything I need to prove that Muhammad's a false prophet, right? Chandler, I hereby, suppose someone comes up and says, hey, I hereby declare that God is an absolute unity. According to the argument that you just gave, that would mean that this person is a true prophet, right? Yeah. So notice, every Muslim who affirms the absolute unity of God would be a true prophet, according to what you just said. If you preach the absolute unity of God, you are a true prophet. But guess what? Muhammad claimed that he's the seal of the prophets. But there's tons of prophets after him, because there's tons of people who declare the absolute. Notice what you've just said. So all these people would be prophets. Therefore, Muhammad's claim that he's the seal of the prophets would be false. Therefore, Muhammad's a false prophet. Thank you for proving that Muhammad's a false prophet. But
now I want to add something, and I want CP to comment, but I do want to answer this question. Chandler Burke, I hope you've been paying attention. CP has just put holes in the assertion that Muhammad taught the absolute oneness of Allah. We just showed that the Quran teaches anything but that, even though Muhammad wanted to say Allah's one. He ended up saying things that made Allah more than one and actually affirmed the existence of the plurality of gods. But even with that said, among Muslims, even till this day, Muslims cannot agree about the nature of Allah. For example, the Salafi Muslims believe Allah actually has a body. Listen to this, Chandler Burks. I want you to listen to this carefully. Salafi Muslims believe Allah has a body unlike anything in creation, but He has a body. He has eyes. He has two right hands. He has a shin. He has a waist. These are actual parts of Allah, body parts, even though they're unlike anything creation. But then you have the Muslims who are known as the Ashari or the Maturidi who say Allah's bodiless. He doesn't have a body, and these are simply anthropomorphisms. So that is a bold-faced lie, even when it comes to Muslims today, let alone going back into early Islamic history with the debates between the Mutazilites and what became known as the Orthodox Muslim group, because the Mutazilites were influenced by Greek philosophy, Aristotelian logic, and they denied the existence of attributes as separate from the essence. But that's another story altogether. So that's not true. And real quickly about the Trinity. When you talk about Protestantism, if you're talking about Protestants who affirm the Trinity, because there are some quote-unquote Protestant groups claim to be Protestants, but they don't believe in Trinity. The Roman Catholic Church, the Eastern Orthodox Church, and the Protestants who affirm the Trinity all agree there is only one eternal God, and this one God eternally exists in three eternally distinct persons. The Father is an eternal person, the Son is an eternal person, the Spirit is an eternal person. They're not the same person, distinct persons existing as one God. Now, how they explain the relationship is the Father, the fountain of Godhead, so on and so forth. There may be some differences there, but the basic affirmation that there are three eternal relationships, three eternal divine persons existing in one God, we all accept that, so that's another lie. But CP, if you want to chime in, Muhammad taught the absolute unity of God, CP, again.
Hold on. You see, first of all, when he said we Christian, we have different Trinity, this is a big fat lie. Because even the Quran say no, all of us we have the same Trinity. So that's mean the Quran is a stupid book, because all your Quran call us, all of us Nasara. So why your God Allah did not say there's Nasara and the other group? That's mean Allah is a weak in knowledge and he need to go to school. Secondly, isn't it you Muslim believe that Allah created from the sweat of horses? So how Allah is one, yet he is created from the sweat of horses? That means horses was exist before him. And if you are saying to me I don't believe in that, this is some Muslims, crazy Muslim believe in that. So how you just said to me we Muslim believe in one thing? Madness of Islam went beyond imagination to imagine that their God is made from the sweat of horses. It says that the Prophet says يقول عن أبي هريرة قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله لما أراد أن يخلق نفسه خلق الخيل فأجراها حتى عرقت ثم خلق نفسه من ذلك العرق. Translation: when Allah he wanted to create himself, he created the horses and then he made it run until it sweat so bad, and then he created himself from the sweat of the horses. My friend, if we go and take your God Allah to the DNA laboratory, we will find that he is from the same family and of horse and donkeys, according to you, not according to us. So how you say that we believe in we Muslim believe in the same thing? The Druze, they believe that Allah is Al-Hakim bi Amrullah Al-Fatimi, and he have a son, his name is Hamza Al-Bahlawan. The Shia, they don't believe Allah have a body. The Muslim believe Allah has a body. As an example, in the Muslim Sunni, if we go to Sahih al-Bukhari, we will find in hadith number 6573, and this is Sahih, that Allah have two shapes. Which one of them is Allah? If you say to me the first shape is Allah and the second shape is Allah, what Allah did to the first shape? He shot it, he burned it, he put it in a cycle machine. How Allah can be two but yet one in the same time? And how Allah have a physical being but yet he has no spirit? And remember, the Muslim, they say that Muhammad is the same as Moses, but the God of Moses is spirit. The first verse in the Bible, or it's the second verse, it says that God's spirit is above the water, correct, Sam?
Above
right?
The water.
So, God of Islam, all of us we knew that the God of Islam is not a spirit. So how the same Moses, I mean, here we go, even your God is not spirit. So what we left is God who created from the sweat of horses. He might be a mule, and then he have many shape. He changed his shape. He play hide and seek, and then he have a foot. He have 5 fingers. He have an ass. He have a face. He have eyes, but yet he have no spirit. That is a statue. That's an idol. So how you Muslims, you say to me we have one unique God when every group of you have total different of God. The Shia, there's many groups have two different description of God. The Sunni, there's many groups, they don't agree with each other. Actually, the Sunni, they were slaughtering each other about how to describe God. Actually, not only that, the Muslims themselves, they don't agree if the Quran is created or not. Every group have different opinion, and now we have to divine because of that. Because if you say the Quran is not created, that's mean we have the uncreated Allah and the uncreated Quran. As long the Quran not created by Allah, then we need to ask who is the divine who created the Quran. Unless the Quran is a divine by himself. So now we have two divine. So how you have one God, unique God, but yet you have two uncreated divine?
Good question. Now, I hope you guys got your answer about Tawhid. That's a myth. Even Tawhid means to unify.
Thanks, guys, for those amazing insights. Like I always say, the dream team here against Islam. Sam Shamoon, David Wood, last but not least, Christian Prince. We all appreciate you guys for the work you do, and may the Lord bless you richly and abundantly. We pray this in Jesus' name, amen. For more clips like this and videos like these, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Share on all your social media platforms, guys. For merch, we got merch in the Trinity shop. Look on the screen, we got the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Yahovah t-shirts, we got hoodies, hats, you name it. Go on there and copy some gear. All proceeds go to help the ministry. Really do appreciate that. Hope you guys like the new look. And as always, my name is Jay, and all praise to the one true triune God. Amen.
Christianized JeetKuneDo for apologetics.